And we're back here on What's Burning. And as I told you, on the other side of the break, we're going to talk about Amendment 3. Everyone across the state talking about this ballot issue that hits the ballot on this upcoming Tuesday. And so to tell us a little bit about Amendment 3, I have Kevin Halderman, who's the owner of Hemp, Hooray in Osage Beach, a lake local. Kevin, thanks for joining us, man.
I appreciate the time.
Yeah, man. So I was kind of surprised as I started to hear all of this, leading up over the last few months. For me, I was like, yes, Amendment 3, vote yes. But you contacted me and you said, this is not what it appears to be. People need to know. They need to be informed. They should not vote yes. And so I'm going to ask you, man, just come out and tell us, why do you think people should vote no this coming Tuesday?
So we really feel there's a big hidden agenda behind this amendment. What the amendment actually puts into place is a person called the Chief Equity Officer. I'm going to effectively call them the CEO of the state right now. There's been certain protectionist clauses that are put in the Constitution currently with the current medical program that does not allow any elected official to regulate any part of the medical industry. So if they try to legislate a new law or try to control any type of authoritarian position that DHSS or the department might have, they can't do that.
Wow, it takes all the power away from
all
them.
the power away from that.
And puts it in whose hands?
In DHSS, and that's currently already in the amendment.
So what is that in DHS?
DHSS, Department of Health and Senior Services.
Okay, so it gives them all the power, no elected officials.
All the power to regulate the current medical marijuana industry.
Gotcha. And so for someone like you, Hemp, Hooray, I mean, you guys have some really cool products, not just hemp products and Delta 8 and hybrid products and vape devices and candles and all kinds of cool stuff. But this, as far as medical marijuana and recreational marijuana, could be a great thing, but you're trying to say this is not the way to do it.
Yeah, most definitely. So when DHSS selects this Chief Equity Officer, or the CEO, there's no oversight given. And once this new current amendment is passed, or if it passes, DHSS can no longer regulate that person's duty also. In the amendment, it currently states that they can only be removed for cause, and the department, meaning Department of Health and Senior Services, cannot interfere with the regulation of their duties either. So now you've got a pyramided tiered structure that isolates that person from any type of legislative body.
And that would set a dangerous precedent and could mean down the road, could have serious ramifications for people, not just medically, but recreationally.
Well, this person's duties, I've kind of broke it apart. This person's duty is actually got 4 or 5 actual directives that are put into the amendment. One of them is to generate public education. One of them is to also the Chief Equity Officer shall establish public educational programming. The Chief Equity Officer shall establish public targeted assistance, technical assistance programming dedicated to providing communities that have been impacted by the prohibition with information detailing the licensing process. The Chief Equity Officer shall inform individuals of the support and resources that the office can provide the individuals and entities interested in participating in licensed activities under this article. So none of those actually, there's only one of those actually say anything about marijuana.
And that's the raising awareness and education.
Yeah. So if you look at establishing public education programming, that means K through 12 possibly. That could mean homeschooling. That could mean church schooling. It's not defined what these are in this clause. When we talk about support and resources, those are programs that are going to be developed by this person in this office. Again, not pertaining towards anything in the marijuana industry.
So basically, like we've seen a lot from our federal government, a lot of hidden things and hidden agenda, as you said, because essentially it's a petition because they're looking to amend the current law. It's a 38-page petition, and as you're revealing, some of it has nothing to do with marijuana, whether it's recreational or medicinal purposes. And so this would be a dangerous precedent. And so I think this is going to raise the question for a lot of people out there that, okay, well, if they believe recreational marijuana should pass and this isn't the way, how are they going to see that come to fruition?
So, I've heard from a lot of people talk, well, we have to do it right now, if not when. Representative Hicks in the legislative body, last year, they did try to get it put through committee on Bill 2704.
Okay.
I sat in on that bill with some development of it. I know Representative Hicks personally. I know some of the people that were involved with that bill. I spent time over the last year at the House and the Senate talking to legislators. That bill will get re-brought up in the spring. If the people want legalized cannabis, they need to speak out for it, and they need to inform their legislative body. I mean, that's a simple case.
So would it be a year, best case scenario, if we vote no on Amendment 3, as we're forced to get ready to wrap up, but if we vote no on Amendment 3, best case scenario gets brought back up in the spring next year come November, could vote yes, and hopefully by a better bill or a better amendment?
Probably not another amendment process. I mean, they've raised a ton of money. I don't see them raising $7 million again to put another amendment together. But through the Senate and the House, through the legislative body, there would be a vote in May on this bill that's going to be proposed. And so effectively, it could be signed into law by August 31st by the governor.
Wow, which would be wild. It's worth noting, too, Governor Parson is one of the many noteworthy politicians and powers that be that are anti-voting yes on Amendment 3. Kev, I know we can come by and see you at Hemp, Hooray and Osage Beach, but for those out there trying to get maybe further educated or informed leading into Tuesday, is there anywhere you can push them or any of the resources that you've compiled or found helpful that they could maybe look into?
There's a couple of conservative websites. No on Amendment 3.
Okay.
So it's actually no on a3.com.
Okay.
That's probably the biggest one that I've been dealing with and had any type of association with. But when you were talking about the legislative body and people being against it, the Secretary of State has came out against it. The St. Louis Post-Dispatch has put 2 opinion articles against it. The mayor of St. Louis,
So this isn't a partisan issue because you're seeing this is bipartisan across the board. A lot of people against this. So get informed and educated. Yeah. Most importantly, coming up this Tuesday, get out and vote and let your voice be heard.
Vote.
Kevin Halderman from Hemp Hooray. Appreciate you coming on and giving us a little insight, my friend. We'll be back on What's Burning with Uncle Chris after this.